Okay, we are now recording. So first things first, your Instagram's kind of tricky. Like I spent a lot of time trying to understand it. Basically hold on, I'm gonna go in here. All I hear is my kid upstairs. I spent a lot of time trying to understand Instagram, like losing followers and like gaining them. Do I say public and private, public or private? Like what is the absolute best thing to do? And so through trial and error, I've kind of figured out what works for me. I think Instagram is different for everyone. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I think Instagram's kind of different for everyone, depending on what you're using it for. But it's really important on Instagram. Instagram is Instagram's like your highlight reel. Everything has to be aesthetically pleasing, and it has to flow really well. A lot of the time, people say, when you are going to look at someone's Instagram, what do? You look at probably like I can't see on my phone like when I can't see anything. You look at their first like row, like their first 9 or 12 pictures. And if you're not pleased, if someone's not pleased with your first like 9 or 12 pictures, like your first 3 or 4 rows, more than likely they're not going to follow you back, or they're going to unfollow you. And so that's kind of the rule of thumb when people go to your page. I'm going to start out with just the basics, and then we'll kind of go through everything. So first things first, like I said, Instagram's all about first impressions. It's not like your Facebook, like where people kind of like get on and they kind of like wait and they follow you for a little bit. And as long as you don't post anything like politically incorrect or something that offends them, for the most part, people will stay Facebook friends with you. Instagram is such the opposite way. If you don't have something that's pretty, flows, you're not funny in your stories, or you don't stand out in a certain way, more than likely they're not going to interact with you. You may get lost in their algorithm, or they're just going to unfollow you. So first things first, when you have your Instagram, make sure that your profile picture is just you. If you want to have it like you and like your husband or your significant other, that's fine. But the main thing is like when it's like you and your friend, first off, like a lot of people following me, like they're not going to know which one's Natalie. They don't know if it's me or Ashley. Like if I have Ashley in the picture with me, they don't know which one of us is Natalie. They have no idea. And so your Instagram is you. It's your highlight reel. It's your magazine cover. So for your profile picture, make sure it doesn't have any filters. If it's a Snapchat filter, if it's, and you have like bunny ears on or anything, please, like all it takes is like one good selfie. Just take it in the golden hour where the sun's going down and the lighting's really good outside. Stand in front of your door if you have good lighting that way. But your profile picture on your Instagram needs to be like a bright picture, a bright, clear, crisp picture of you. So people see who you are and they know who they're following. I want to be Natalie. You're so funny. And so I like that. I like that you can do that. As far as like taking pictures with your Instagram, I literally use a little light ring. I literally got this off Instagram or off Amazon for like, I don't know, like $4. And it's literally just has like a couple of different shades, and I can sit here, take a selfie, and it's bright, it's clear, it's crisp, it's a good picture. If your pictures are grainy, they have filters all over them and stuff. Yeah, there you go. If your pictures are kind of grainy and people like, they're just not bright, again, people are not going to want to follow you. Instagram is all about like your magazine cover. It really is. Instagram is like your highlight reel. And so it has to be aesthetically pleasing. So your profile pic is really important, along with like taking a good clear picture for your profile picture. Something that really changed for me, like getting follows back and people just following me, is when I started using presets or using the exact same filter. So presets basically are, you download an app called Lightroom. And so it is, well, here, let me show you what a preset looks like first for those of you who don't know. All right, if you go to my Instagram, first off, if you want to go to my Instagram and see what I'm talking about, it's _always_Natalie. And so presets are when the color scheme flows. And so all my pictures are the same color scheme. So basically I take a picture and I don't have to do any crazy editing or anything. I go to Lightroom and I use a preset called Ibiza. And I literally just put the preset on all my filter or on all my pictures, and I just upload it. And then, oh my thing is not going. But anyway, so like all of it, they kind of have like the same bright blue hue to them. They all have like a blue hue to them. And then when you go further down, I changed my preset, like when it was like January and December, and it was kind of like a hazel preset. So do y'all see how like the color scheme flows? Like that's important. Like back here, if I go all the way back, let me go all the way back. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is being so awful. Hold on, let me unconnect. If I go all the way back where my presets don't match, and my pictures don't really match, I wasn't getting a lot of follows back. And that's because it's kind of all over the place. Like this, like my pictures are kind of all over the place, and like people just weren't following back, and I couldn't figure out why. But then when you go up here and it looks aesthetically pleasing and everything flows, it's bright and it catches people's attention. So I buy my presets from 123 presets, and you just download them into an app called Lightroom. But you can also get really cheap ones from Etsy and stuff like that. And there's different things that you can buy them from. Okay, so that's really important. Make sure all your pictures flow. For your bio is what's right underneath your picture, okay? It's really important. So you're saying to delete the dark ones. Yeah, any pictures that are like grainy or like dark, like right now, like my picture, like here on Zoom, this is dark. This would not be a good picture on my Instagram. I'm kind of like washed out. The quality is not good. Like again, like your Instagram is your highlight reel. It is your magazine like cover. It's like your perfect life, I guess, is what you want it to look like. Because again, Instagram is all about being aesthetically pleased. Like it's about people being like, oh my God, that their life is so beautiful. Like Instagram is all about you. It's not like really, it's not a big family platform unless you are finding the right audience, which I'll explain here in a little bit, how you find a target audience with hashtags. Instagram is really about you and what life looks like for you. It's your highlight reel. It's your magazine cover. But your bio, so your bio goes right underneath your profile picture. If you don't have one, you need to make one tonight. And you make it based off of like your brand, like who you are. So if you have enrolled with me, or you have created a team underneath me, one of the things that we sit down and do is right when you get started, we create your brand. They're the 5 things about you that you want people to know about you, who you are. So for me, everyone knows I love margaritas. Like I have people send me pictures of them drinking margaritas all the time, because everyone knows that margaritas and beaches are my thing. That's what I love. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I love my dog, and I love to travel. Like those are 5 things about me. I love fitness. And so in my bio, your bio needs to not indicate that you are affiliated with like any MLM, anything, which obviously we know this is not an MLM or anything, but people I think prejudge people before they actually look at their stuff and their content and give them a chance. If they have any idea that you are a part of something, a lot of the time, unless you have like over like 15 or 17,000 followers or something, they're probably not going to follow you back, because they're going to be like, oh my God, this person's trying to sell me something. So make sure until you get high up, like where you have a ton of followers, and that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. But like make sure like your bio is just you. So for instance, my bio says Margaritaville mentality, elderly millennial, mom, wife, and Texan. It's really clear. Again, I don't know if y'all can see that. So that's my bio. And it doesn't say anything that I sell anything. It doesn't say that I'm a part of a company, because again, yes, I run a business. I have my own, I run my company. I run my business, but at the end of the day, people don't join the company. People don't join the business. People join you. People want to join people that they like, know, and they trust. So are you showing them enough about you that they can like you, get to know you, and trust you? It's not about the business. It's about you. And that's what your bio needs to reflect. Underneath your bio are something called, these are called, why are these not coming to my mind real quick? What are these things called again? Dang it.
They're called highlights.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Actually, I'm just completely blanked. These are called highlights right here. And what these are, your highlights basically. So for instance, I have a highlight that says travel. And so all the stories, and I'll talk about stories here in a minute, but all the stories that I've posted, all the stories that I've posted, I can save them to something called travel. And I save them to like basically the highlights. I have awful Wi-Fi right now. Like it's seriously ridiculous. I don't know what is going on. But basically anytime like I travel somewhere and I want to save it, I can save it to this. And so people can click on these highlights and they can see where I've traveled to. And then I have some like food, like I can save them all the things I put in my story. So for instance, like in my story right now, your stories are at the top. You click on the picture, on your picture, and this is my story right now. Oh, I can't, I have hashtags on my story. Hold on, I'll explain that in a minute. But basically, like you have a little thing right there and it says highlight. And so let's say I had, let's say I had one of like, maybe my story. Let's see, my highlight was called my story. I could click this, and every time I click this, it's gonna save to that highlight. And so if you wanna create a highlight, you have a little button right here, and it allows you to upload a picture. So all my highlight pictures are the same because I wanted it to be uniform. For a while, I had different prints like cheetah print and like different things or whatever. And so I really don't think that aspect of it matters. But I like it uniform just so everything flows the exact same thing, kind of like my presets. But again, like when you go to my page, everything's just very uniform. Everything flows. There's a color scheme. My bio is clear. My pictures are clear. And that's how people want to, that's why people gravitate. That's why people want to follow you, is because everything's clear and it looks good. It has to be aesthetically pleasing. So make sure your bio is clear. Make sure your pictures are clear. That's your first thing. Let's talk about stories real quick. If you are on your newsfeed, these are your stories at the top. If you are not utilizing your stories, you are missing out on so much business. You are missing out on connecting with so many people. I 110%, I run my business through my stories. I could literally go MIA on Facebook and never talk to anybody on Facebook again and still kill it through my stories and Instagram. That's how important your stories are on Instagram. And your stories are pretty important on Facebook too. But on Instagram, I'll have like 1,000 people view my stories, but maybe only 100 people see my actual post on Instagram. People live in stories. Your stories, your Instagram page is your highlight reel. It is your magazine cover, but your stories allow you to be you. It allows you to, I literally will roll out of bed and have like a Mount Rushmore sized pimple on my forehead and start talking in my stories, because that allows people to see who I really am. They can see that like, oh, she's not somebody who just travels all the time and who's on the beach. Like, she's a mom. My house looks like a nuke went off in my house right now. And it allows people to really see what my life looks like behind the scenes. So yes, when you go to my actual like Instagram, it looks beautiful, but my behind the scenes is my story, and I love showing people what my life actually looks like. So with your stories, make sure you're rotating your content. Make sure if you make a post, or if you make like something about a quote. So for instance, let's say, okay, so right here, I've got like a little quote. I don't know if y'all can even see that. I've got like a quote. I uploaded a quote to my stories. I'm not gonna put 15 more quotes behind it. Like, you need to rotate your content. So for instance, I'll talk in my stories, and then I'll do a picture of something else. Like, you can't just have your stories be all about the business. If people know that your stories are just all straight business, or all before and after pictures, or all products, people are gonna stop looking at your stories. Make sure your story is a healthy balance between work and your real life. So like, for instance, if you go and watch my story real quick, I didn't have a lot of time. I was driving a lot today, and I didn't have a lot of time to upload anything to my stories. So I went on and I spoke in my stories, and I started talking about like where I got my shirt. I started talking about what my day looked like, creating a routine. I actually made my bed today, and I never make my bed. And I started talking about stuff like that. And then at the end of it, I started saying, you know, like I was saying, like, we're about to hop on a training. I'm super pumped. I love talking about Instagram. Instagram's my favorite platform to run my business. And then I said, if you're somebody who, you know, we have so much extra time at home, like right now, a lot of places are issuing like a shelter in place. And I'm like, if you're somebody who you need extra money, you have extra time at home right now, like, swipe up. I'll tell you more about what I do, and we'll see if it's a good fit for you. And boom, I talked to people about my life. I told them what I did today, a little bit about me, and then I also integrated the business. You showing up in your stories and talking is so important. It's so much better than just putting up pictures and hoping people come to you, or saying that you could change your life for $1. People don't know that they can change their life for $1. People don't know what that means. But if you get on here and you present them in an opportunity and you talk to them and you show them what freedom you have in your life or what it's done for you. If I got on here and I literally said, you guys, like, I'm so scared my husband could lose his job any day, or like any day at this time now, but like, I'm grateful that I'm able, even when, things hit the fan and we're at home, I can still work my business. I'm sitting here and I'm working right now. If you're somebody who can relate to me and you feel like you're in the same position, reach out. It's okay to have a plan B. It's okay to get outside of your comfort zone. Like, start being prepared now. And somebody's going to relate to that. Someone's going to feel that and they're going to message me. And so talking in your stories is such a big deal. My question, how do you get so many views on your Instagram? It's all about like interacting with other people's stuff. So here's the thing. If you want engagement, you have to give engagement. And so I don't really care so much with my posts anymore. I used to get kind of butthurt if I only got like 150 likes on my picture and like something else got 300. I used to kind of like, it used to like really make me upset. But here's the thing, you guys, don't worry about likes. Likes are all about vanity. Vanity is not going to pay the bills. Like, just because you have like 20 likes on a picture, that doesn't mean that that's going to pay your light bill. It doesn't mean anything. You could have 20 likes on a picture and be killing it. You could have 20,000 followers only getting 20 likes, but you have a level of influence, and it goes down in your stories anyway. So don't ever worry about likes, but you have to give engagement. I literally all day, probably the reason why my stories, like the people who view my stories, the number is so high is, one, I use hashtags. So for instance, on this picture right here, you cannot tell I have hashtags on my picture. You can't see them, because what I've done is I took the picture, and for instance, let me see. So when you create a story, you go to your feed, you swipe, and this is my stories. Y'all can see how messy my room is. It's seriously not okay. But let me pull up like a quote or something that I was going to use and show y'all what I mean. Okay, this is the one I used this morning. So this is what I posted earlier. It doesn't have any hashtags on it. There we go. It doesn't have any hashtags, but if you press up at the top, if you look at it, there's like a uppercase A and a lowercase a. If you click that, you can type. I can type, okay? I can start doing hashtags. And what I do is there's a button right here, and it looks like a little, what is that? Looks like a little dropper. You take that button and you click it, and it allows you to blend the words with your background. And so when I'm done, I blend all my hashtags with my background, and the hashtags that I use for my pictures, I use them on that background. Sorry, I just got a message. I use them on that background. And so like those people, like those hashtags pop up in something called the story. And so when you go to the homepage, so the homepage is when you click this little search bar down here at the bottom, the little magnifying glass. This is the landing page. This is the homepage. So if I search a hashtag, if I click the search bar at the top and I search a hashtag Houston mom, let's do that. So all these things pop up, all these hashtags. I'm so sorry. I wish y'all could see this better. Y'all can see all these. I can click everyone who used the key term Houston, everyone who's used the hashtag Houston mom, like here I am, I'm on the landing page right here because I use it so many times. And so same thing, like there is a story. Well, none of the stories are showing up for Houston mom right now, but usually you can click this picture and anyone who's hashtagged Houston mom, their story will show up for that hashtag. And that's how I get followers. I use the same exact hashtag in my stories, the same exact hashtag on my post. I don't care if my post is about making macaroni and cheese. I'm still going to use hashtag Texas mom, hashtag moms of Houston, hashtag Houston Insta, because I want to attract the people that are close to me. But that's what I'm literally on a public page right here. This is my picture that I posted a few hours ago. And if somebody is looking at like hashtag Houston mom, they're going to see mine and they're going to be like, oh, okay. And they could click on my profile and boom, I'm just connected with somebody new. Now, here's the thing. That does not work if your profile is on private. If your profile is on private, you can't use hashtags. Literally probably until about, I got up to like 5,000 followers, I kept mine on private. I feel like people are more likely to follow you back when you have a low amount of followers at first, if it's on private, because like if you go and you comment on, let's say I went to Andrea's page and I was creeping on Andrea. I found her somehow and I went and I commented on like 5 of Andrea's posts, because that's what I do. I find people with this using the same hashtag, and let's say Andrea was hashtagging things Houston mom. I would go comment on 5 things of Andrea's pictures, and then she's gonna be like, who is this girl who's commenting on all my pictures? She's gonna click on my name. Okay, well, she clicks on my profile, but then she can't see anything because I'm private. So more than likely, she's gonna follow me. And then when I accept the request, then she can see all my stuff. And that's why I was telling you, it's so important that your first 9 to 12 pictures, they flow, they look good, because Andrea is gonna judge me based off my first 9 to 12 pictures. If my first 9 to 12 pictures are nothing but Snapchat filters, dark, grainy pictures, she's gonna be like, oh, this girl isn't interesting. I don't care what she has to say. She's not gonna read my captions. She's not gonna care. But if my pictures are bright and it looks like I'm having the time of my life, or whatever, it looks like my life is perfect, which it's not, please understand it's not. But if it looks clean and it's clear, she'll likely follow me. She'll likely follow me back until she gets tired of me. But then if you're public, you can start using hashtags, and you can use hashtags in your story. When you're using hashtags, don't use, make sure you don't use like hashtags that have like 14 million tags. So what I mean by that, let's say hashtag Houston. People that use the hashtag Houston has 22.3 million posts. So what that means, there are so many people using hashtag Houston so frequently that even if I use that, I'm only going to be on the landing page for like 5 seconds. People aren't going to see me. So try and use hashtags that only have like anywhere between like 17,000 to, anything less than 900,000 or whatever. And you're not going to know that. You're going to have to do your hashtag research. You just are. And you cannot use more than 25 hashtags per post. Instagram cuts you off at 25 hashtags, and none of them, the other ones won't be discoverable. People won't see you. But I use roughly about like 20 hashtags every picture I use, and they're almost pretty much always the same hashtags. So I keep showing up in the same landing pages. So you'll have to do your hashtag research, and make sure, like, I'm not saying like, if you're posting something that's like, if you're posting a picture of you and it's something like you're talking about the business or something, how it changed your life, don't use like hashtag wedding day. Like if you start like, showing up in irrelevant places, that annoys people and they're not going to want to follow you. They'll just think that you're thirsty and you want followers, which we all want followers, but like, you don't want to come off thirsty that you're showing up in the random places. I'm always creeping on Andrea. So I would switch back to private if you only have like 300 followers. Yes, I would. Just because, again, like that allows people, if you can't go and like people's pictures, you have to quit liking people's pictures. If you're going to like their picture, comment on it. Comment on people's stuff. And I don't say comment saying like, oh girl, I love the shade of blonde in your hair. Oh girl, like he's so cute. Leave genuine comments. Like if someone's on a vacation, oh my God, I've always wanted to visit Peru. What's one thing I should do when I go? Or where did you stay? Did you get an Airbnb? What resort did you stay at? How long are y'all staying there? Ask questions where they have to answer you. And when they answer, they're gonna be like, who's this Natalie chick? She liked like 12 of my photos and commented on 2. And then when they go and go back to your page, then like they have to request to follow your stuff. And so I would recommend, if you don't have a lot of followers, to be on private, just so you can start adding people and interacting with people that way. Also, make sure that your numbers are not off balance. So what I mean by that is that, so I have a little over, I'm almost 8,000 followers, and I'm only following 2,600. You don't want it vice versa. You don't want to be following 8,000 people and only 2,000 people are following you back. That doesn't look good. So if you see people posting stuff that you don't like, then you need to unfollow them. If it's not somebody that you would want to do business with, or if it's not someone that inspires you, or their content just doesn't make you happy, you need to unfollow them. And it just takes time, you know, like going through all those people. There's also an app called Cleaner. Do not run the app. Don't actually run the app. You will have to manually go through. But anybody that's not, it allows you to see who's not following you back. And that way you can go in and you can unfollow them, but you have to do it manually. Instagram doesn't like third-party apps. And so, for instance, like if you run Cleaner, it could shut down your Instagram account. Like Christmas time, I ran Cleaner and I almost lost my Instagram account and I cried. So that's how much Instagram means to me. So make sure you do it manually. Like if I have like 100 people that aren't following me, I literally will screenshot the app of all the people who aren't following me. And then I go into Instagram and manually unfollow all those people, and I keep my numbers balanced. And so how I add people. So I used to add people. So let's say, okay, Andrea is a Houston mom also. So let's say I found Andrea from a Houston mom hashtag. Let's say Andrea posted a picture tonight that had 200 likes on it. So I don't follow guys because I just don't have good luck with like males respecting me or my business. And so I don't interact. I don't add males. I don't do that. So what I would do is I would go to Andrea's picture, and out of all the 200 likes that she had on her picture, I would add those people. And that doesn't mean I like all of their stuff. More than likely they're going to show up on my page, and it doesn't, you know, I don't know, some of them could be duds and I have to unfollow them and that sort of thing. But what it means is that the people, they liked Andrea's picture. They gave her engagement, and like that means like they're active. They're not ghost followers. Like they're real people. I only follow about 5 to 10 people on Instagram a day, and that way I can better take care of people. And I can actually, like, when I go and add them. So like, let's say I found Ashley on Instagram today. I would go and I would add her, and I would comment on like 5 of her things. Like, and I mean it. Like yesterday, I literally was commenting on people's stuff from 2014. I don't care. Like that means they're going to come and they're going to look through my page and they're going to see what I'm about and that sort of thing. So why would the line of private and non-private numbers of followers, and what's the name of the app? Yeah, the app is Cleaner, and you want more people following you than you're following other people, and that's going to take time to have a balance. Like that's just going to take time as you're weeding people out. But I add people from hashtags that I use personally, and then I add people by going to other people's pictures that they've recently posted and adding people from people who have liked their pictures. Does that make, hopefully that makes sense. Uh-oh, I have 10 minutes. Okay. I think adding, okay, so one last thing that I want to comment on your pictures. Make sure that all you're doing is not posting selfies. If you post selfies with the exact same angle every single time like this, again, that's boring. Make sure you're mixing up your media. So I have a selfie here. I have a selfie here, and I don't have I have like, see the big gap in spaces that I have from just plain selfies. So make sure you're mixing up the background of your content. And I take tons of my last picture that I posted was me in Mexico, like from last month. I wasn't in Mexico on Tuesday when I posted that. But again, Instagram doesn't have to be real time. Your stories is you in the real and raw. Your stories is where you are right now, you being real, but your you know, your actual like Instagram page itself, that can be content from whenever. So next time you go and you have makeup on and you look good, or you're out doing fun stuff, save all those pictures. That's content that you can use later. I use batch content, and so like days that I put on makeup and I actually do my hair and get ready, I literally will change into like 3 or 4 outfits, and I will go take pictures. I know that seems extra, but you guys, like, Instagram is my baby. Like, I run my business on Instagram. Like, I love Instagram. And so that means I could literally look like a troll living in my house for 2 straight weeks, but I have content that I can post that I look like I'm in Bora Bora every single day, but really I'm on my couch with like pimples all over my face, but nobody knows that. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, so I'm going to unmute everybody. And if anybody has questions, I feel like that was like the basics, but I feel like that way that kind of helps. Okay, everybody is unmuted. Does anybody have questions? Like, as far as like what to post, like make sure you don't just do business posts. Make sure like, again, like people need to know who you are. So like make a post about a business, and then your next 2 posts, don't make them business related at all. Make them about your kids, make them about your dog, make them about how much you love margaritas, make it about something motivational. Like only have a business post, like maybe every other post, every 2 posts, or that sort of thing. You have to mix it up. You don't want, again, people going to your page and all they see is business, 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 business. You want it to be your life. Your Instagram is all about you and who you are and your brand. So pick out the 5 things that you want people to know you about, who you want to be known for, what is going to make you stand out, and stick with those 5 things. And then everything else you just throw in. Like I made a business post today, and your business post, know this, your business post will not get as many likes as everything else. Like my business post will get like 100, 150 likes, but then my posts with me out doing whatever will get like 700. That's how drastically different they are. They are so different. So again, don't even pay attention to likes. Likes don't matter. The people that are meant to see your content and meant to be on this journey with you, they will connect with your business. It doesn't matter if you have 5 likes. If they feel in their heart, if they can relate to what you're saying, then they're going to reach out to you. And that's why it matters so much that you talk in your stories. Like if you go to my Instagram right now, I'm talking in my stories. And when I talk in my stories, I always have people reach out to me, always. Like it allows people to relate to me on a better level than me just posting something. Like if I can tell people about what I'm struggling with, what life has been like quarantined with my 2 kids, what this business has done for me, it lets them hear the passion in my voice. Pregnancy brand. I went over like Instagram being aesthetically pleasing, your first impressions, like your profile pic, your bio, making it about you, getting presets. I went over how I add and where I find people. I went over hashtags, went over pictures. Do I need to go over anything else? Like that's
Natalie, I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
When you do an Instagram story, do you share the story on your Facebook story too at the same time?
No, you have to share them separately. So for instance, like what I did is you can save each one of them. So like if I go to my pictures, I haven't posted it to my Facebook yet. I redid it a couple times, so don't judge me. But like I save them and I'll go to my Facebook and do it separately, because even though Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people, if you sync them together, you're not going to get as many views. I noticed like a drastic difference when I stopped doing that.
I've been doing that.
Don't do it no more. You'll notice a difference. Give it like a few weeks and you'll see your numbers change on Instagram. I don't know why. Okay. It's like wizard here.
Yeah. Okay.
I did an Instagram story for the very first time yesterday.
Yay! And I promise you, when you start doing that so much more, like your numbers will go up. When you check into places. So for instance, let's say I do a story real quick. I can check in. I'll just use this one. It's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. There's a little square dude up here. Click the square dude and you can click location, and I can check in at, if my Wi-Fi would freaking load. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know why I pay AT&T. I'm about to call them and yell at them. Okay, so I could literally check in. I'm not at a football stadium, but I literally could check into NRG Stadium, and anybody who searches that geotag like my story is going to show up at that location. And so a lot of the time, and again, I'm on public. If you're not on public, that's not going to work. But like, for instance, like, again, I was not at Cancun, or I was not in Mexico when I posted this picture, but right there, I checked into Mexico. You can't even tell. I checked into Mexico. And so anybody who looks up that geotag, my picture pops up there too. So again, like, it's just different ways to connect with people. So do that.
I didn't even know Instagram can do that.
I've signed up for so many trainings, and like, cause I just wanted to understand Instagram. Like, I think Facebook is cool, but Facebook is more family oriented. And when you send people a friend request on Facebook, they're like, how do I know you? And I'm like, you don't know me, Becky. Like, just add me back.
Yeah.
Like, and on Instagram, like, I can add Becky and her whole entire family tree. And like, they're all like, what's up, girl? Where'd you get your shirt? Oh my God. Like, Instagram is so much more relaxed. And that's why I love Instagram. And it allows me, when I say slide into people's DMs, like, the way I do my business, like, for instance, this girl and I have been talking nonstop. So where would you go? BYU Provo or Utah State? We'll say Utah State. I don't even know what that is. I just voted. I don't know. But anyway, there's a thing right here. And so I don't know who that is, but I can write them a message right here. And that message goes straight into their DMs. And so when I say I slide into people's DMs, like, it goes straight into their thing and they answer me back. And now I'm having a conversation back and forth. So instead of cold messaging someone and saying like, oh my God, be on my team, like, do what I do. Like, I'm having a conversation about, I don't know, like leather boots or something. And then I'm like, oh my God, like, I just saved my bonuses for my bonuses. And then they're like, what are your bonuses? And I'm like, oh girl, I work online, like, blah, blah, blah. And it opens up a whole new thing. And so just by sliding into someone's stories, that helps too. I just got the notification. I have less than a minute, but if anybody needs like one-on-one help, let me know. I love Instagram so much. I've done so many trainings and stuff on it, like, because I love it that much. So if anybody needs like one-on-one help with their Instagram, let me know. And I'm like more than happy to sit down and like help you clean yours up and fix your bio.
Okay,
Hey, Brooke, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Send me a
Bye.
message and I'll do like a Zoom with you and we can do it.
You know I'm gonna send you a message, girl.
Yeah, I'll help you. I'm literally quarantined to my house, so I'm more than happy to sit
Yeah.
down with people and help people clean it. We can do another one tomorrow and I can help people clean it up or something. We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna put this recording in the team page, but thanks for hopping on. I hope it helped.
Thank you.
Thank you.